What's up guys, back here, welcome you for week 2 of SPS, Articuno, season 6? 5, 6, I don't know, I don't keep track of season numbers, but we're here with week 2, we're against Andre, who has Mega Chomp, Ferrothorn, Milotic, Raikou, Grabombi, and Hitmontop. In the back they had, I think, Grimmsnarl, Moltres, Mew, and God, what was the last one? Torn Eye. I did not prep for Torn Eye, by the way. But yeah, so they had a really scary team. Mega Garchomp with like a Scale Shot up and a Sword Stance kind of just wins. So I needed a lot of stuff to kind of stop Garchomp from just setting up, and punish Garchomp for setting up. So that's why we're here today with Mega Diancie, Necrozma, Zygarde, Vaporeon, Alolan and Decidueye. Diancie is there with Diamond Storm, Moonblast, Mystical Fire, and Substitute. So if he led like Ferrothorn and thought he was going to scare me out with Diancie, I could at least sub once. And if he got up Rocks, well, no, that doesn't make sense actually, because Magic Bounce. I don't know. I don't know what I was really thinking. Maybe he thought maybe I would Mega. Who knows? Because they brought Rabombi. I was like, maybe they don't realize Diancie's Magic Bounce, because, you know, I kind of forget too, honestly. That has Magic Bounce. But anyways, the idea was just kind of sub. It's not a horrible idea to just sub turn 1. If they led like Raikou or Milotic, I could also just sub 2, but that doesn't matter too much. I don't know what I was thinking there. Next up we got Necrozma holding the Lumberry with Dragon Dance, Photon Geyser, Rock Blast, and Knockoff. He didn't bring Mew, so I didn't really need Knockoff. Otherwise I would have probably been like Earthquake or just Moonlight to keep myself healthy. Lumberry in case he brought Mew with like Will-O-Wisp. That way I can Dragon Dance again and then knock him out with Knockoff. So that was pretty cool. I could have probably also just brought Sub, but you know, whatever. Yeah. And the cool thing about Photon Geyser is it ignores Milotic, which is really cool. And by ignoring Milotic, it ignores Marvel Scale, so I can hit it with a +1 physical Photon Geyser, and it's going to hit Milotic very hard. And that way, if they click Haze, I don't take damage, and they just get overwhelmed by Necrozma at that point. Next up, we got Zygarde, which I was going to run Banded, but it wasn't really doing too much damage to Milotic plus Ferrothorn plus Garchomp. And even like Rabombi, I don't think took like too much damage from whatever Banded attack I want to do. Maybe Extreme Speed would have hit hard, but either way, I decided to just run Yachi Berry in case he was like Ice Beam Mew or Ice Beam Milotic, and I could 1,000 Arrows, Toxic, I think Skitter Smack, and E-Speed. And that was just Zygarde. Next up we got Vaporeon with Ice Beam, Wish Protect, Heal Bell, which is meant to just 1v1 Garchomp. If it SD'd, I think Vaporeon loses, but I was actually modest 112 or something, so that I could just kill Garchomp from full if needed. And then even if it didn't kill, I could just go Zygarde or Alolan Muck and Shadow Sneak or Extreme Speed and kill it. And then Alolan Muck is here with Assault Vest with Knockoff, Shadow Sneak, Ice Punch, and actually Fire Blast because it hits Ferrothorn a little bit harder, and I don't take Chip from Iron Barbs, so I mean win-win all around. It has a miss chance, but I think I'd rather miss than take Chip with Alolan Muck, especially because looking at his team, I had to deal with Raikou and Rabombi too. And then lastly, we actually got kind of a heat set with Decidueye with Spirit Shackle, Leaf Blade, um, defog and roost. However, I'm just gonna explain the Spirit Shackle later, and you'll see. And it's kind of sad to say Spirit Shackle is like kind of a tech option now because every Decidueye just runs Poltergeist, but you know, either way. So I was looking at his team, and I was like, well, as I mentioned before, I'd substitute on Diancie, so I figured that's not a horrible lead here. So I decided to lead Mega Diancie, and I'm like, I don't know why I forgot Magic Bounce. I thought maybe he just U-turned into Ferrothorn. I think that's what I was hoping would happen, was that they U-turn into Ferrothorn. However, they just decided to stay in an Energy Ball, which is a very good play on their part. I should have maybe not Mega'd, but in case they decided to go for Sticky Web, I didn't really want Sticky Web up versus, or for Necrozma. Although, looking back at it, I don't think it matters, because Decidueye would have just default. But anyways, I go for the substitute, as he could have actually killed me here with just Bug Buzz, but I think they just kind of forgot, because in the face of Mega Diancie, you kind of just want to click buttons trying to kill it. But either way, I go for a Diamond Storm, as they're actually Sash, which is cool. But anyways, I didn't want to sack off Mega Diancie just yet because I do outspeed their whole team except for Raikou, so they just go for the Bug Buzz, which does about 22% with a crit. I don't know, I think he got quite a few crits this battle. There's a lot of crits this battle actually, now that I think about it. So I finish off Rabambi with a Alolan Muck, which is nice. As they go Garchomp, and actually here I was like, well, I have a full HP Zygarde, a Decidueye, and like those three mons alone should be able to deal with Raikou at least decently well. So I was like, well, if he ends up Earthquaking, that's okay. I lose Alolan Muck, but I wasn't too scared, and I wasn't really too worried about just clicking Shadow Sneak. And the reason why is because he actually decides to sub, which is nice. I just clicked Ice Punch, and I figured they'd think I'd probably just stay in and sack off Alolan Muck, as obviously I'm just trying to sack it. So I actually go for the double into Decidueye as they Earthquake. It doesn't do too much. I figured since they were sub, they probably weren't Sword Stance. And I also figured that they're probably Adamant, or not Adamant, at least physical. I should have actually kelped this, the Earthquake on Decidueye, but I think that's just Jolly max attack, which I don't think means they are running Fire Blast. I think they're actually Stone Edge because they want to hit Talonflame. But anyways, they decided to go into Ferrothorn, which is really nice because so here actually Spirit Shackle, and if you guys don't know what Spirit Shackle does, that actually traps your opponent. So this Ferrothorn is trapped, it has no Shed Shell, although actually it wouldn't have been a dumb idea if this Ferrothorn is actually Shed Shell, because I did have a Magnezone, but I don't think Magnezone was really going to do anything this battle anyway. So they didn't really have a reason to run Shed Shell, they could just Body Press it. Yeah, that makes sense. They wouldn't really care about Magnezone, Magnet Pull, to be honest. So I actually trapped this Ferrothorn, and that means because I have Defog, he really can't keep up Spikes or Stealth Rock versus me, and if I play it right, I can end up with nothing on the field, and a pretty healthy Decidueye still. He didn't actually have Knock Off, so I'm just kind of healing back with leftovers. As they keep missing Power Up. I think they missed Power Up like twice in a row. As they protect, but I didn't really care. I'm just gonna spam Spirit Shackle because I really can't defog on a Protect anyways. So actually here I decided to, I think, defog, as they I don't think they expected me to just defog, because I don't think I actually defogged yet. I don't think I should defog yet. Actually, let's wait after this turn. Yeah, so I didn't actually reveal defog yet. So I don't think they were going to go for the spikes. So I just decided to um, defog there. As Fear Thorn's low, it dies to a Spirit Shackle, as he actually gets the Protect on my Spirit Shackle, but I'm fine with that because the Decidueye gets a little bit healthier, as skillfully he gets the double Protect. Unfortunately for me, that kind of means I think he's going to end up with Rocks. But the Decidueye says, nah, I'm not letting you get Rocks. So I get my, I get a crit. Unfortunately for him, I don't think Rocks actually mattered too much, although Mega Diancie was dead upon switching back in, which I was fine with because looking at his team, like Milotic walls, Raikou faster, Garchomp kills. Like if I switch it in, Hitmontop just kills with Bullet Punch. So I was like, I don't really need Diancie anymore, it's probably just my best sack at this point. So he goes Raikou, and I'm like, well, I can take any attack from Raikou at this range if he decides to Shadow Ball. I get a good damage read on that, as he actually specs Raikou, which is really cool because it makes sure that Necrozma can't just set up a Dragon Dance and just win. So that was cool. I didn't actually expect it to be specs. I expected like Sub Calm Mind. So I actually kept the Decidueye in case he decided to click Sub. But I also lived any hit either way, and I get a lot of damage off of this Raikou. If I got a crit and was running Shadow Sneak, that would have been great. Actually, this Decidueye was like Swords Dance, Spirit Shackle, Shadow Sneak, Roost. I think I could have just won the game with it, but unfortunately I wasn't. However, Specs Shadow Ball does like nothing to Lone Muck. He does get the drop though, which doesn't really matter because I'm just gonna knock off, which is a Choice Band Hitmontop. I don't know why it was Choice Band because it really didn't need Choice Band. Maybe it was Choice Band for like Triple Axle on the Zygarde or something, but I don't really think they needed Choice Band there. So I'm just gonna let him kill my Diancie as they get weaker, and I'm just gonna go into Necrozma and just Dragon Dance. And they're Flame Orb Milotic. I'm just gonna Photon Geyser because that does a lot. As he's actually a little bit bulkier than I thought. However, Burn kind of keeps it unhealthy. I think they went Hitmontop because they want to get the attack drop. Although I don't think it matters because I'm just going to click Dragon Dance again as they click Recover. And I'm going to get a fat Photon Geyser off again. It's going to leave my Milotic pretty, like, not well. And I believe Photon Geyser at this range just kills it. Unfortunately I get a crit, but I don't think it matters. In fact, I'm definitely sure that didn't matter. So he goes with Raikou, and I'm like, well, you kind of have to Shadow Ball. And I don't really need a Lone Muck anymore, so I'm just going to kind of sack it. If he decided to go Garchomp, the Lone Muck could have just won here, but his safest play was just to stay in Raikou. And I'm just going to Shadow Sneak it as they keep clicking Shadow Ball since they're locked in. And a Lone Muck is going to take out the Raikou. And now they bring Garchomp, and I'm just going to let a Lone Muck go down. I could have probably went like Necrozma or Zygarde or literally anything, but I really didn't want to let them just get a Sword Stance off. And if they decide to Sword Stance on me, Ice Punch into Shadow Sneak killed Chomp, so I'm just gonna let him kill Lone Muck. And now I'm gonna go into my Vaporeon as he subs for I don't know why. I guess maybe he thought I'd run Scald, but I'm actually Modest Ice Beam. So down goes the Mega Garchomp. GG's to Andre. I think he played very well. I think he had pretty good prep too, because it is kind of hard to remember like Photon Geyser, like just ignoring abilities, because to be honest, I think I've faced Necrozma like twice in the past year, so it's kind of hard to remember, but very well played. The only part of their prep I didn't really like was Sub Garchomp. Sub was actually good, but I think they needed Swords Dance, because Swords Dance Scale Shot would have won if they could kill Diancie, and they obviously had very good prep for Diancie. outside of not being Akka Ferrothorn, which I guess makes sense, but maybe they're EV to like live a mystical fire and kill me. I don't know, but yeah, I'm very glad the Sidgewai popped off. Little Muck got a few kills too. Necrozma got on the kill board, so did Vaporeon. Diancie sadly didn't do anything, neither did Zygarde, but Zygarde popped off last week, so I'll take it. All of my team should be getting kills. Even the Mime. Which I almost brought here, looking at their team. They literally had 0 ice resists. So Nasty Plot into Freeze Dry Ice Beam just kind of won the game. Outside of Hitmontop, so like the only reason I didn't bring it was because of Hitmontop, although I could have probably brought it over Zygarde, but I figured having Zygarde in the party at all is probably going to scare them, because Zygarde is Zygarde, and it's scary, but it didn't really do anything with the battle, unfortunately. It didn't even touch the field, but yeah, I think next week we fight Wombat, which is gonna be fun. I fought Wombat, I think, twice. Both battles are very long. I'm hoping maybe it won't be such a long battle, but I guess you'll find out next week, and I'll see you guys then.